going on, everybody? Welcome to the first ever edition of the Fishreel. It is your boy, Question Fisher, aka the Fish Flicks, man. I am your host here at the Fishreel. We talk all things movies, TV, and just give people a platform to be able to express their opinions, talk about any particular films or TV shows they like, as well as any filmmakers out there that they want to use this platform to, get more exposure for their films, attraction, just overall talk about their life and their careers in the industry. We're open to it all, man. That's what this platform is here, man. This is the platform for all film and TV lovers, man. Thank you so much for being here today for the first ever edition. And really, when it came to the fish reel, man, and really what it was all about, over time, I did a few interviews and a whole bunch of reviews along the way. And I just really do love being able to talk about all things film and TV. And not only that, through the interviews, I love being able to hear from the filmmaker's perspective and what they were aiming for and going for, the story that they want to tell, how they filmed it, man. I love it all. And it gives them a platform to be able to talk about their films, gain more exposure, be able to promote it. And that's what this is all here for, man. It's not just for me, it's for all of us. Any and everybody is welcome here. Whether you're a true cinephile, if you're a casual, if you just want to learn about film, that's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to talk about it, make it to where it's open and exposed for you all to be able to understand. And we're just here to have fun, man, and talk about all things film and TV. And so, who am I? I am the Fish Flicks, obviously, like I am Iron Man. And I just love, like I said, being able to talk about film and TV and just being able to have this platform to truly express my opinion, because art is subjective, and that's what film and TV is. It's art, and all film and TV is subjective. There is no absolute opinion on whether one is good or bad, and any and everybody is entitled to their own opinions, man. We're not supposed to universally love every single project that comes out into the world, because that's what makes the discussion about it all the more fun, hearing about the differing opinions and how these certain films and shows made people feel, whether they connected to the characters, the story, whether it touched them a certain way, man. That's what it is, man. Film and TV, it touches us in a whole bunch of different wide range, a variety of emotions and feelings. So that's what this is here for. And really, the film that really got me into wanting to explore film a whole hell lot more and really set me on the path for a filmmaking journey is the first ever Avengers movie. Just seeing all those mix of characters come together for one big film. And it's not just a great comic book film, it's just a great movie overall in general. And so just seeing how they were able to bring this ensemble cast all together, you have gorgeous visual effects, a great script, great chemistry amongst the cast. It just all came together well. And it just made me want to explore and see how filmmakers are able to execute that vision and bring it to life. And that's why I'm here with you all today. So if it wasn't for that first ever Avengers movie, there would be no Fish Flicks. There's no me, man. I would be a fucking accountant somewhere, possibly. But yeah, that first Avengers movie is very special to me. And I have all 4 posters of the 4 Avengers movies on my wall because of it. So that should tell you just how big of an MCU fan and Avengers movie fan that I am in general. And I'm very excited for Avengers Doomsday to come out later this year, which brings me to what we're doing here today for the first ever edition. For today, man, it may be late in the middle of January. I don't care. The year has barely started. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start by giving you my 10 most anticipated films of 2026, man. Now, listen, this is going to be a truly phenomenal year for film in general. It truly is. This year is pretty damn stacked altogether for film. And so I won't say it's like necessarily 1 through 10 list type of ranking outside the number 1, which if I heard what I said just recently, you should know what the number 1 film I'm looking forward to is. So, but along the way, before I get to the list, I do have a couple honorable mentions. And I want to say, I just want to make sure I highlight them because I am looking forward to them, but not as much as the other 10 films I had in my list. So to kick off the honorable mentions, I'm going to start off with Scary Movie 6. The Wayans Bros returning to the Scary Movie franchise for the first time in years. Sean, Marlon, Keenan, they're all part of the writing for it. You have Anna Faris and Regina Hall coming back as Cindy and Brenda as well. And you also have a few other Scary Movie alumni from the first film that's going to pop up in it as well. And I just want to be able to see a great, funny movie in theaters, spoofing the horror genre, and that's what the Wayans brothers are going to bring with Scary Movie 6, hopefully. Next up, we have this movie called Digger. Don't know too much about the film outside the small little teaser. You have Alejandro Inarritu and Tom Cruise teaming up for a little film, and not too many plot details are out, but when you have those two talents paired together, I'm all in. And lastly, for honorable mentions, I'm going to go ahead and say Clayface. Clayface is something that could be truly be very creative, very inventive for the DCU, and what really highlights what James Gunn is really going to bring to the DCU, these smaller, little intimate character-focused projects. And something like Clayface, man, I think there is a whole lot of money to be made. Like, you could make something really great out of this. And you have Mike Flanagan being a part of this film as well. So it should be pretty damn good. And I'm very much eager to see how that Clayface movie turns out. All right, let's go ahead and get straight into the 10 most anticipated films of 2026. Kicking things off, we have Robert Eggers' Werewolf. Now, Robert Eggers, he's a very specific kind of filmmaker, you know. I really enjoyed The Northman. I loved his take on Nosferatu, and you have him taking on the version of story of werewolves. Sign me up. Robert Eggers, he's probably going to kill it once again. Willem Dafoe, I heard, is probably going to be a part of it, man. Love seeing them collaborate. And he really knows how to bring some of the best performances out of these characters in such a really dark and gruesome story. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing Werewolf. Next up, we have Supergirl. Supergirl being played by Millie Alcock, releasing later in July this year. And the Millie Alcock casting was just fantastic. And just seeing her little brief cameo at the end of Superman has got me all the more excited, especially with the fact that they're adapting the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic book storyline. If you know any details about that, you know it can get a little dark at times, and it's truly a character-driven story, and it's really good at that. And it's being able to see Millie Alcock take on this story. I believe it's the director of I, Tonya, taking on this film, I believe. I could be wrong, but it's very much interesting. You have a great filmmaker behind the camera. You have a great lead in Millie Alcock, who I think is going to kill it. Crypto's going to be back in the film as well, and it should be very, very interesting to see. Also, Jason Momoa's Lobo. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how he turns out as Lobo. So, Supergirl. Next up, we're going to have, you know, probably one of the top 3 greatest film franchises of all time, and that is Toy Story 5. Now, I was a little bit hesitant when they announced that they were going to do another Toy Story. It's like, do you really have another story to tell? Because really, Toy Story 3 was the end of Andy's story with the toys, and Toy Story 4 felt like it was the end of Woody's story and him going off and doing his own thing. And so with this one, we're gonna have the team come back together. I guess Jessie is gonna be at the forefront a bit more. She's gonna recruit Woody to come back around, I guess is what I've heard. And the premise of it, the toys going up against the tablets and iPads and their kids' addictions to that, man, I really think there's something truly special and unique that they can do with this story. And it gets me all the more excited the more I think about it. I truly think they have something special on their hands with this one little story alone. So Toy Story 5, man, the Toy Story franchise has not let me down yet at all. They've all been phenomenal, and I'm pretty sure Toy Story 5 will be just as good. Next up, we have an obscure film. When it was announced, we thought it was an April Fool's joke, but no, it's real, and it's coming this year, later to Netflix, and that is the semi-spinoff, semi-sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, with it being The Adventures of Cliff Booth, with Brad Pitt coming back to the character of Cliff Booth. And this is not directed by Quentin Tarantino. It is his screenplay. He did write the film, but David Fincher is the one directing. And when you see that Tarantino script with the David Fincher direction, it's like, oh my God, like I have to see this alone. Was when you just say a spinoff or a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood starring Cliff Booth, it's like, okay, I guess we can do something like that. But when you say a Tarantino script paired with a David Fincher director, the guy who did Seven, the guy who did Gone Girl, all those films, yeah, this is something I absolutely am looking forward to. Something I need to see. And Brad Pitt won an Oscar for his role as Cliff Booth. So that's why I'm very much looking forward to The Adventures of Cliff Booth. Next up, we're going to have my favorite superhero of all time, who I think is the absolute goat of goats. Spider-Man Brand New Day, the 4th film in the home franchise of the Spider-Man in the MCU, and truly going to be a little bit down to a street level version of Spider-Man, and him, the aftermath of everybody not knowing who Peter Parker is, and him trying to live a normal life. You know, the classic type of Peter Parker Spider-Man story is what we're getting. And then the cast involved, Sadie Sink in a mystery role. We got my guy, the Punisher, coming back. My man, why is his name not coming to my head for whatever reason? Jesus Christ. But you know who I'm talking about. He's going to be in it. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, Bruce Banner is going to be a part of it as well. We don't know the villain. We still don't know the true story details of this movie. And it's going to be very interesting to see. But Spider-Man in the MCU has been pretty damn fire. And I'm always there on opening night for every Spider-Man movie. Next up, The Social Reckoning, the semi-sequel / next chapter of The Social Network, which is not bringing back Jesse Eisenberg as what's his name, the head of Facebook anymore. And we're gonna have what's his name, Jeremy Piven in that role. And we also have my guy from The Bear going to be in it, Jeremy Allen White, and Mikey Madison's going to be a part of it. And there's really interesting ways, especially with how Facebook has evolved and the data leaks and everything, and just everything that comes to Facebook. There's a lot more story to tell, especially with those leaks. That's what I heard that's going to be taken advantage of with this film. And what's the name? David Fincher. He's not going to be the one directing this film. It's Aaron Sorkin. He's one of the greatest writers of all time. He's taking on the directing duties for this film. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing this film. I know a lot of people, they were hesitant about this film in general and why it should even be made, but I really think there's a whole lot more story to tell when it comes to Facebook, honestly, like I feel. So Social Reckoning, I feel like it's going to be great. Next up, probably going to be the biggest, highest grossing biopic of all time, Michael. A Michael Jackson biopic. This movie has been through some turmoil just based on some behind the scenes and legal dramas that they had to face, to where they had to whole ass push the film back and reshoot it, and even possibly split the film into two separate parts. And I feel like what I've seen and heard from this Michael Jackson biopic is that this movie is going to feel special, man. And what I'm looking forward to in regards to this movie is when the opening weekend releases for it, and just seeing all the Michael Jackson cosplays, the music going to be played all throughout that weekend. The weekend, it's truly going to be a special film. And Jafar Jackson, his nephew, looks exactly like Michael, sounds just like him. The cast all around is fantastic. Coleman Domingo as Joe Jackson. Yeah, sign me up for that shit right now. All right, so our three most anticipated films of the year. At number 3, we got Dune Part 3. The D. Villeneuve's Dune movies, they're not for everybody, but they are for me. The whole world building, the politics behind it, the sci-fi nature of it, man. It is just phenomenal filmmaking across the board. And Dune Part 2 is probably the best film of the last 10 years, in my honest opinion. Just that movie is just special. That movie is truly the definition of what cinema is all about. And I've heard some mixed things about Dune Messiah and people not necessarily liking that book, and that's possibly what's going to be adapted for Dune Part 3. But I know Denis Villeneuve, from what I've heard, is that he's going to be taking a lot of liberties, and he's going to be making some creative choices of his own to kind of polish it out. And Timothée Chalamet is absolutely on fire right now. Easily one of the best actors in the game today. Some people will say that he is the best, and I wouldn't even argue that as well. And I think his portrayal of all Atreides has been nothing short but fantastic, and I think he's going to kill it once again. Denis Villeneuve is going to kill it with the direction of Dune Part 3, and I'm looking forward to it this year with Doomsday. Next up, we have Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Christopher Nolan is going to tackle the adaptation of The Odyssey, and that alone should be phenomenal. Sword sandals, that shit, the one little prologue that we seen in IMAX for this movie, it just looks phenomenal. And Christopher Nolan, like, he made his magnum opus in Oppenheimer, and so he's on fire. He's on a pretty damn good hot streak right now. I know that his tackling and incarnation of The Odyssey is going to be nothing short of fantastic. The cast all across the board looks phenomenal. It looks gorgeous. It's shot gorgeous, and I can't wait to see this film. And come on now, you guys know what the number one most anticipated film of the year is going to be for me. It's Avengers Doomsday. Everything I continue to see and read about in regards to this film gets me more and more excited. And this is going to be the movie of all movies, in my opinion. We're going to see some crazy ass shit just based off those little teasers we've seen. And the fact that we literally, none of us, unless you are directly in the know or know people directly in the know and on the set of the film, none of us don't know a single bit about what this movie is about. And I love that. Robert Downey Jr. coming back this time as Dr. Doom, and how they're going to explain that has me all the more curious. How they're going to mix in all these multiversal elements. And you got some legacy characters like the Fox X-Men characters going to be involved. You're going to bring in the new Fantastic Four, blend them in all together. And man, we're going to be in for something special. The Avengers Doomsday is going to be truly a romp of a film in general. And I think this may be one of the highest grossing films of all time. And this movie is Marvel's biggest risk. All bets, all the chips are on the line for this film. It's make or break with this movie for the MCU, because of them being in a part of a bit of a downslope, and that they need this film to be nothing short but fantastic. And I feel like they're going to deliver, man. The Russos and Kevin Feige teaming together, they have never let me down. And I feel that Avengers Doomsday is going to deliver. And that's why it is my number one most anticipated film of 2026. Anybody out there, I need that red carpet access to the Avengers Doomsday premiere. But to reiterate, my 10 most anticipated films of 2026: Werewolf, Supergirl, Toy Story 5, The Adventures of Cliff Booth, Spider-Man Brand New Day, The Social Reckoning, Michael, Dune Part 3, and Avengers Doomsday. Those are my 10 most anticipated films of 2026. And like I said, it's going to be a pretty big and massive year for film in general. And I can't wait to see how it all turns out, man. And because I'm going to be at the cinema quite a bit, man. That AMC A-list account is going to be used quite a great deal all throughout this year. So yeah, you'll frequently be seeing me at the movies, but yeah, we're going to be in for a special year of film in general. But that's it for me, man, on this first ever edition of the Fishreel, man. Just want to go ahead and introduce myself, let you guys know the movies I'm looking forward to, kind of get a vibe from me. And we're going to have a whole lot of fun just talking all things film, TV. We're going to be talking about the film news, TV news. I'm going to be doing reviews on here. The interviews are going to keep coming in as well on the channel. This is the Fishflix Entertainment, man. This is the net. This is the home. This is going to be the new hub, man, to where we don't just make content. We tell stories and generate conversations here, man. We build the conversations here, man. We're not just doing it just to do it, man. I love this. We're here to build out this community here at Fishflix. This is because that's what film is. It's a community. All roads lead to film. And that's what we're building out here. A bit of a film coalition, per se, is on the rise. I've learned these new big words from one of my favorite shows, Power. Shout out to the team at Power. But that's it for me, man. That's my top 10 most anticipated films of 2026, man. Thank you guys so much for being here for this first ever edition of the Fishreel. Be on the lookout for all future uploads and future episodes, man. This is just a pilot episode. It's going to be quite the fun journey that we're going on from here on out. But hope you guys have a great, blessed rest of your day, man. And can't wait to talk more film and TV news with you soon, man. Talk to you.